Well, I would like to say, for those of you who have been buying me food over my lifetime, there are very few of you because I have two main people who are feeders to myself. Donna of Moser is a feeder to myself, and Charles Toe is a feeder to myself. And that's not true that I was born that way to be fed. I'm not a dot that you can feed. I am angry. I was alive in this world, first and alive, alone in my house. And I have to say alone because after I arrived, there were illegal alive shunts who arrived after myself. And I was due alone in my house. But you have some kind of problem that doesn't relate to myself, which is collecting on the threatening. And I am the threatener. But that is because I am myself the founder of the order. And I do know that I am the threatener because I move all of creation after myself, around myself. The world moves because I am myself. That's why I'm the threatener, because I am positioned that way in all of the omnipresence of God. And for you to challenge my, according to you, authority, it's not authority. I don't have authority over you. It's not true I can help you. It's true you belong in a jail and a prison. To find somebody who's an authority over you, that you can tell them that they're not an authority over you. And that's you need to be in a jail or a prison with a deceased address. That means if you go into a jail, you're on your way to a prison, that the jail will transport you to a prison with a deceased address where you can tell guards in uniforms with guns and their keys. They have guns and keys. You can tell them that they're not authorities over you. And you can find out how fast you'll end up in a mortuary. Because I just moved the whole creation around myself deceased, and I'm not done. There's still people coming to my front door trying to come in and refuse to leave and trying to tell me to get out, that I'm not allowed to be in here. And I'm none higher than me, deceased, disclosed. I don't have higher leverage to disclose for you. That's all there is for this body, and you're unreasonable because you're not myself. That means I'm disclosing leverage is the leverage that it is to move you, and you don't listen with your ears hearing and do with yourself what you must about that you are to be in a jail and a prison if you're not doing something for me. And then if you think nothing of it, that's true, you just go directly to jail and prison. And there's someone else who will owe me something, and then they go to jail and prison, and then somebody else will owe me something, and they will go to jail and prison. And that's you needing to know how to go to jail and prison because you want to challenge somebody who's an authority over you and tell them that they're not an authority over you and that you want to be in control. You might end up with a prison uniform. You might end up with a guard uniform with a set of keys to other people's jail cells and a gun, and you'll find out that they're not authority over you. And what's so interesting about that? Then you end up being sort of like that you're working in a jail and a prison with a deceased address, and you really need to know how you're going to end your time in a prison because you don't really work for that. You want to be in a prison, but that's where you can challenge other people's authority, that they're not an authority over you, and you can tell them that you want to be in control, and you can fight with them about how important you are, and that you'll see they have keys and they have guns on their keys in a prison with a deceased address where you're not really allowed to leave. That's true that you're in there permanently until you die. And when you're not allowed to leave and you're in there until you die, you can see how much you want to assert yourself, that you're over somebody who's an authority over yourself. And the way that I've had to say this is so outrageous. I just wanted to say it with myself, that I am none higher than me deceased. I am stating the order, and it's not enough to move the creation around myself without me leaving the formed world with myself. It's true that you are so far gone that I can't help you with who and what I am.